Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other hosts are right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Today, the 49ers. So we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff. The 49ers lost to the Vikings. They have the Bengals upcoming. The Eagles look like a whole nother level of NFC team. They just beat the Dolphins. A whole bunch of other stuff as well. But before we get into all that, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and drop some comments and be sure to subscribe because it really does help us push our content to other people. So we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll just get right into this loss. I mean, let's talk about this quickly because I don't want to hear about the 2 losses in a row anymore. I just want to get back to winning. Remember those days?
Seems like such a long time ago.
So what happened out there?
Does the defense suck? Does the defense suck? Does the offense suck? What's going on here? Like, bro.
I mean, before everything was ranked, all of these teams in the 49ers were ranked like top of the league.
Yeah, so I just don't know where you go to find a fix here. It seems like the offense is really stagnated. Brock Purdy has come down to earth a little bit. The defense, I'm seeing a lot of people mad about Steve Wilks blitzing, but if anything, we should be kind of pissed off at Kasaric too, because this defensive line sucks. And we've put a lot of money on this defensive line. They're not stopping the run. They're not getting into the quarterback. So, of course, like, what do you do if you can't get 4 guys into the backfield to sack the quarterback? You bring the blitz. So that's the problem there. And then people are pissed off at Wilks. But, like, realistically, the D-line, Javon Hargrave has been really good, but he can't do it by himself. Eric Armstead has been lacking this season. Nick Bosa, I didn't really hear the only thing I heard from him yesterday is he has a fucking Skims ad now. And I put on Twitter, and I was waiting for someone to pause me. I put less Skims, more sacks. Pause. But it's true. And then where the fuck is Drake Jackson? Where the fuck is that Drake Jackson that we seen from the first game, bro? Like, what happened? Is he just a bust? Like, so yeah, I'm pretty. If you can't tell, I'm pretty fucking frustrated. Is defensively, that's where the root of the problem is. It's on the D line. They are just underachieving at this point, and of course, it trickles up to the rest of it, to the secondary who can't guard to save their lives. A good thing Justin Jefferson wasn't there because he would have torched us for 300 yards himself. Primetime Kirk Cousins, he aced his audition. Like, if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm looking at him like, damn. Kirk's pretty good. So I don't know. Like, and then to take it to the offense, Christian McCaffrey, I know he put a lot of the blame on himself. Don't do it, Christian. Don't. It's okay. We know you fumbled. It's all right. But you're a dog. You're out there with a oblique tear, even though it's slight. I don't know how slight it is, but he's a dog, dude. That's the one guy who you could trust in and out game after game to put his heart and soul into this team. And he did it. So I don't think he should take any of the blame. Realistically, like, I had to say it, but like, Brock, what are you doing, dude? Just 2 really bad picks, like very, very bad. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Just because I'm over here ranting at this point.
Yeah, I'll get to the defense as well, but I texted you immediately after that game. Like, was that Brock Purdy out there or was that Jimmy G? Because so many of those throws look like Jimmy G throws. And I think this is the first time, even last week, I didn't think Brock looked like he was trying to do too much or didn't know what he was doing. This game was the first game I've seen Brock Purdy just overly doing too much, trying to make something happen, throw the ball away, don't overthrow. He's like getting so much air under these balls and they're flying over, getting picked off. Even he almost got Kittle hurt. He threw a Jimmy death ball too high. Kittle gets hit in the knee and he limps off the field.
It's because they hit him in the dick. Did you see that after?
Yeah.
He was like, hit me in the fucking dick.
But yeah, it's one of those Jimmy throws where like it's way too high and you're going to put this guy up and put him in danger. And so even that last play, the interception, you're scrambling around. There's no one open. Like, just turn to the sideline, throw it in the dirt. Like, what are we doing here?
Live to fight another day.
Yeah, there was still 30 seconds left. We still could have got another playoff. And then McCaffrey fumbling to open the game really, I think, just killed our momentum. It looked like we were going to easily have our way with this defense that day, and then it just took everything away. Jawan Jennings looked amazing. I thought he looked like a solid receiver, but I think, can Kyle not call a game unless he has every single superstar at his disposal? Like, what are we doing here? I know we don't have Debo, we don't have Trent, but this offense, if you gave this offense to any other team in the league, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is a kick-ass offense. They have fucking all pro players still. Like, we should be able to put together 21 points.
Yeah, it definitely looked disconjointed. It just felt like there was no rhythm. It felt like behind McCaffrey, do we need to go out and trade for another running back? Because what are we doing? Like, at this point, I'm tired of Elijah Mitchell. Just get him off the team. Like, let's go ahead and just find another guy that can really back up McCaffrey, who has the ability to just be a good change of pace back. And right now, it just seems like either Kyle doesn't trust them or they just don't have it. So it is what it is, dude. But like, they need to, of course, we know the run is what this Shanahan offense is built off of, but people are stacking the box. And then the, passing scheme just doesn't seem up to par lately.
Yeah, and that's my thing with Kyle. Like, he's always had guys that he trusts and guys that need to earn his trust. And if you need to earn his trust, you're not going to play. And so I think when you have a lot of injuries, when you have a team like this, sometimes in the league, you have to just throw it to a guy and trust him. Like, even though he is a rookie, a Ronnie Bell, or he is kind of an unproven guy, like our backup running back, like Ty Davis Price. Like, I know he was inactive, but like, sometimes if you have injuries, you just got to throw caution to the wind and be like, look, you're on our roster. We got you for a reason. Let's try it and see if it works. Because we don't have another, like, are we just going to give it to McCaffrey and Kittle 50 times because Debo Samuel's hurt? Like, that's what we were doing, basically.
Yeah, man. And it was, again, bad all over. Jake Moody misses another fucking another field goal. Yeah, he goes ahead and drills like a 50-yarder, but at the same time, the game is completely different at the end of the game when if they make that field goal, the 49ers are only down 2. Then it changes it from, hey, we have to score a touchdown to, hey, you know what? All we have to do is get into field goal range. You don't have to be that aggressive. So it does change the complete face of the entire game moving forward. And you just can't have this shit. Like, okay, yeah, he drilled the kicks that he did. Cool. But he still missed one. So, like, that's 3 in the last 2 games. That's 9 points. That's the difference between winning and losing in this league. And, yeah, they lost. So,
and you could say as much as you want, oh, we had other chances. We could have done all this, and that to win the game. Jake Moody lost these last 2 games, to me, in my eyes. Last week, for sure, against the Browns, he lost that game. This week, I think missing that kick, like you said, we could have just hit a field goal right there and won the game. Mm-hmm. So 2 games on this guy. You can't have a Super Bowl team if you're missing 3 out of 4 kicks. Like, that's just not a Super Bowl team formula. And I don't know whether we should trust this guy moving forward. I feel like he's like pregame saying because his cleats, he needs to change out cleats. I'm like, you're in a fucking dome. How do you not have your cleats situated? The weather isn't a factor. I just feel like mentally he's like trying to find something that is wrong because like he's just not there right now.
Yeah, and I think on the other side of the ball, the defense, there were opportunities. Charvarius Ward has that pick. Jordan Addison does the same thing back to him, ends up taking it for a touchdown with 8 seconds left in the second quarter. Just little mistakes like that. Like, what are we doing as a team? If you knock the ball
right
down,
there, knock it down. It's 7 seconds left. You're not going to get a fucking interception touchdown. Knock it down.
Yeah, and I mean, let's take it to the Vikings. The Vikings fucking executed. They looked great. Alexander Madison had a tough couple of runs to start out the game. He looked really good. Kirk Cousins got it going. He threw for, I think, over 400 yards this game. Jordan Addison looks elite. He looks so speedy out there. I know he got banged up at the end of it, but he had his best game to date. And this is a tough defense. And so kudos to the Minnesota Vikings. And I know we had said even before this that they were going to be a tough out. I know they hung in there with the Chiefs. They should have beat them. They have been in all of these games, but it's just one of those things where when you play close games, either you win them or you lose them based off the little things. And they had lost up until this point. And so they took it. They went out there and they were like, hey, I know the rap on us is we do not perform in primetime games. So let's go out there and show the world that we can actually do this. And that place was fucking rocking, dude. The skull chant has to be one of the coolest pregame rituals fucking ever. That shit was dope.
Yeah. Just to wrap up this game, I think it was just like a lot of things didn't go the Niners' way. Travarius Ward not knocking down that ball, and then again being a touchdown right before half. The McCaffrey fumble, the Moody kick. I think honestly, we can look back and think I didn't feel like we were playing that bad on offense. It just didn't feel like we were punching in scores. Like I was like, why are we driving the ball and we're not, like, we should have way more points than this. It just felt like we were doing better than what we were. So I'm not too worried about the offense. I think we could still bounce back. Kyle needs to figure it out. Debo will be back at some point. But yeah, this defense got worked yesterday, and it happens in the league. Sometimes a elite defense just gets pushed around when you get a run game going on them.
But this is all right.
But I will say one more thing. The secondary, when Justin Jefferson isn't there, they're just force-feeding Jordan Addison. When Jordan Addison goes down, they're force-feeding Brandon Powell. Like, we need to figure this out in the secondary, guys, because how many plays am I going to watch Kirk Cousins throw a fucking in route where the guy has 10 yards of cushion? Like, how many times?
And that was supposed to be the one thing. Like, I said a couple weeks back, and you were like, oh, like, don't worry. It was off of a win, bro. I was complaining about Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks, his main thing was supposed to be, like, he works with DBs well. But the Cardinals had a 99-yard drive to score. And it was like, okay, well, this defense should be elite enough to stop the fucking Arizona Cardinals. Now they've come out and just looked bad 2 weeks in a row. And it's like, dude, what are we doing here? Again, you were supposed to be the guy who's going to help out DBs. The defensive line should be situated. The defensive line has regressed. They have underachieved. So it's really highlighting the flaws in this secondary. So I know people online were talking about they need to make a move. If you're like in your mind, would you go out and get a DB, or would you go out and get another pass rusher to add to this defensive line?
I mean, for me, I'm all for. I think we need another receiver. I think that's what we need, because Debo is injury prone. We know that. It's okay. He's a great, amazing player, but if he goes down, Ayuk being the center key focus of all these defenses, if he just getting doubled up, like, where do we go from there? Because we tried it today, or we tried it the Monday night with Kittle, and we saw, like, they're gonna let Kittle eat, but yeah, we're not gonna get anything downfield from these receivers. So I think we really need to have another solid receiver on the team, just to keep the offense dynamic in case one of these guys goes down.
Whatever happened to Danny Gray?
He's not one of Kyle's guys right now. So that's why he's not going to see the field.
So I don't know, dude. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. Like
if we don't have quote unquote Kyle guys on the team, like, let's just fucking trade for him, because he knows what he wants. Like, he knows who he's going to play. Like, even if they're not going to be amazing, like, at least they're going to play and get touches and, like, switch up what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, go out and get Randall Cobb. A tough vet, knows what he wants. A 25-year-old Randall Cobb, baby.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Do you think the 49ers should make a trade? Are you panicking like Diaz over there?
I'm not panicking. I'm just fucking sick of losing. Like, this is supposed to be an elite team. We were talking about.
Imagine being a Bears fan, my guy.
What do you mean they just found their franchise quarterback?
We could
Tyson
we could
Bagent.
talk about that. Yeah, let's actually talk about that for a quick second.
Yeah,
But let's
let's
know in
do
the
it.
comments about the 49ers. What do you guys think? But I was texting you about this. The Bears game happened. They finally, they got a win. They put it together. This Tyson Bagent guy. Were you able to see what was going on with that game? The
I
Raiders
saw a
Bears.
little bit of it.
So let me pull up his stats really quick. Tyson Bagent, 21 for 29, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. Not crazy impressive, but I mean it looked good. They won 30-12. The offense was rolling. Brian Hoyer got benched. He threw 2 picks. Aiden O'Connell came in, looked pretty good. Is this Bears team better without Justin Fields, or is this just they put together a good game?
I mean, they played one of the worst teams in the league, one of the most dysfunctional teams in the Raiders. So let's say that. And even afterwards, they were asking Josh McDaniels, hey, why was your team so unprepared? And he was like offended that they fucking asked him this question. And then they were like, well, why didn't you start Aiden O'Connell? Because then he could have developed. And he was like, well, this isn't the preseason. Like, this is not for development. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking? So they played one of the worst coaches, in the league. They played one of the most dysfunctional organizations in the league. It's cool. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you want to roll with this Tyson Bagent guy until you get Caleb Williams, fine. I could see that happening and just kind of see what you got in there. Maybe trade Justin Fields right now. If I'm Chicago, I'm looking at the Falcons. Hey, here's what you could do with Justin Fields, Bijan, and Kyle Pitts. I think that's a pretty dynamic offense. I'm looking at who else can make this trade. The Vikings. Hey, you know what I mean? What would you want to do? Let's get rid of this, and then they can move on from Kirk Cousins. So I would do it just because you're going to move off of Justin Fields after this season. It's kind of a foregone conclusion in my mind. You don't get a top pick and especially with this draft class, and you're not going to take a D end when you have Caleb Williams sitting there.
Yeah, here's my thing. I'm a big Tyson Bagent fan. The story, D2 guy, undrafted, 4th quarterback, works his way to backup. Now he starts the game, wins it. I think if it was me running the team, I'd try to trade off Justin Fields right now, and I'd roll with Tyson Bagent. But here's the thing: they don't want that to happen because Tyson Bagent is the guy that's going to lose them Caleb Williams. This guy's too efficient as a quarterback. Now, Justin Fields, I will admit, way more talent, raw talent, way more explosive. But like I've been saying with Justin Herbert in this league, you don't get points for being more talented. You get points for production. And Tyson Bagent is a guy who can run the offense. He sees the field better than Justin Fields, and he can throw. He can be more productive as a quarterback. And Justin Fields, he's not seeing the field great. He's throwing picks. He had 2 explosive games this season, but more times than not, we've seen him struggle. So I think they're going to roll with Justin Fields. They're going to try to tank, and then they're going to be done with him. But yeah, I think Tyson Bagent would win them a couple of games.
I don't know. I don't think so. If I'm going to be completely honest, they're just not good. They're not a good team. So I would just roll out Tyson Bagent. You're going to fucking lose anyways. Why not see what you got in the kid? And as far as Justin Fields, I think you could still get a pretty good haul for Justin Fields because he did flash those 2 games. You can just be like, hey, you know what? Offensively, we just don't got it. But maybe you could. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And I'm sure someone is looking at
that
Justin
boy's
Fields
trash.
I can fix him. I can fix him. So I'm sure there is someone out there that does want Justin Fields. But again, with this draft class coming up, if you're the Seahawks, you're like, I'll just wait on Michael Penix. I'll just wait on Bo Nix. All
right.
So I think it's going to be tough. You got to find that perfect mesh of, hey, who wants this guy and what are they willing to give up?
All right. Well, really quickly, what did you think about the Eagles beating the Dolphins this week? Big deal? Just, another regular season game?
It was a It was pretty handedly. Like it looked pretty good. Going into it, I thought the Dolphins were going to win. I bet money that the Dolphins were going to win because we were hearing that the Eagles all Monday were trying to figure out who would be able to trade a DB, and they just couldn't get it done for that game specifically. They ended up trading for Kevin Byard, which bulks up their defense. But yeah, I was really impressed with Jalen Hurts coming back from not only a fumble but a pick. So he just needs to shore it up. I think he's trying to do too much, but he looks good, dude. And those receivers look scary. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and now Julio Jones. That actually looks good. And
let's not throw Julio Jones in there.
With the tush push, with the brotherly shove going on, like they're unstoppable. And Nick Sirianni even said it. It makes every first down we get like it's 1st and 9 because we know we have the option to just do the QB sneak. And it's like, damn, like when you cut it like that, like no wonder they're moving it down the field so often. And then on top of that, they have explosive weapons. So this is a scary team. They're a notch, obviously, above the 49ers now and the Lions, who ended up losing and getting their ass kicked by the Ravens. So this is a scary team. This is the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, they just look physically dominant. I'm worried now. Like a couple weeks ago, I was thinking the Niners, were going to be explosive. They're going to put up 30 on the Eagles. And now, I don't know, but I think we have seen the Eagles struggle at points now too. Like the ebbs and flows of the season, it's really, we're not going to know where these teams are at until they actually meet. So I'm not too worried about it, but we got to put some games together. We got to figure it out right now. So.
And also it does help when the refs don't call clear and obvious penalties against the Eagles. Like they had that face mask / defensive pass interference. They had a bunch of holding calls go against them. And then afterwards, Jason Kelsey's like, I'm going to talk to the refs about the defense being offsides when we do the push tush or the tush push. Like, shut the fuck up, Jason.
I'm so sick of seeing the tush push. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, isn't it illegal for 3 guys to push 1 guy forward? Like, is that illegal? Like, if I fucking pick you up and carry you 10 yards, is that illegal?
I know. And so what I was hearing was, I forgot who was saying it, but I think it was on Part of My Take. They were like, what defenses should just do now is take the middle linebacker and just run him from 5 yards out and just try to time the snap and blow up Jason Kelsey. And even if you get a penalty on it, okay, cool, like offsides, whatever. You get the 5 yards and you get to do it. They were going to get the first down anyways. But the more that you do that and you hit Jason Kelsey, the more he's going to be like, hey, we can't be fucking doing this. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is hurting me. So, I mean, if that's what it's going to come to, you're going to have to do it. But how else are you going to stop it? Like, there's no real way, because at the end of the day, their quarterback squats 600 pounds. They have one of the strongest centers in the entire league. Like, you got to figure out something to do it. You can't just let them get away with it.
It's not even just that to me. It's you have 3 other grown men physically pushing him forward behind that. Like, that's where I think it should be illegal. Like, if you just do Kelsey,
but on the defensive side,
if it's Kelsey and Hurts just doing that, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But then you have 3 other grown men pushing the back of Jalen Hurts, like pushing him forward. Like, that's where I think it should come into play. I mean, my way to stop it, we just everyone start layering each other's bodies right in front of Jason Kelsey, and we'll build a wall. And then, yeah.
I would just take Jason Kelsey's suggestion and just fake injuries. I would just fake an injury the whole time. Like, bro, as soon as they did the brotherly shove, I'd just be like, I'm hurt. And just be like, yo, the injuries are stacking up. We got to make a rule against this.
Did you see Hawkinson do that during the game?
Yeah. Oh, that was so stupid. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let us know what you think about the Eagles in the comments. They're looking pretty good. I'm not too worried about the 49ers, but let us know if you're worried.
I'm worried.
Bengals game is coming up. Let me see. How are the Bengals are on a bye week, right?
Believe so. So The 49ers open at 5.5-point favorites at home. I think I'd bet if you were to ask me right now, gun to my head, I'm betting the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals 3-3. They haven't looked great. They eked out a win against the Seahawks. They beat the Cardinals. Before that, blown out by the Titans. Yeah, they've had their struggles. They got blown out by the Browns opening week.
Joe Burrow's been hurt.
Yeah, he's been hurt. Jamar Chase wasn't getting much play, and then he did the whole 7-Eleven, I'm always open, did that whole deal. I think their run game hasn't been as great as it could be, and this defense can get exploited a little bit in the pass game. So I think we have a good chance. I think we do. We can get back to this defensive dominance.
Maybe it's just because I'm being overreacting just the day after the game, but I'm like, fucking Jamar Chase is going to go for 200 yards. Like Joe Burrow's going to throw for 500 if Kirk Cousins throwing for 4. Like the secondary sucks. The pass rush is not fucking getting there. So it's really exposing these holes. Like, again, I'm being a negative Nancy here, but until they prove otherwise, like what are we doing? They're definitely got to figure it out. Again, if you were to put a gun to my head and be like, bet on this game, I'd be like, okay, but I would bet the Bengals. The Bengals,
and we will bet on this game Saturday. Make sure you check out the Diamond Pick of the Week. Every week we go through the 49ers props, bets, spread, give you the best options. So we will have to gun to our head bet on this game.
Yeah, and as of right now, I am thinking about leaning towards Bengals plus 5.5. Like, if you're going to give me this Bengals team and then give me almost 6 points on them, yeah, I think they could do that. I don't know, dude.
We've bet against the Niners in the past. So that we're not, we don't play the diamond pick with our heart. We play with our mind.
We play with my wallet. So,
yeah, we got to wrap up here soon, but quick thoughts on how you're feeling. Any other things about this game that stand out to you?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what Kyle does because Debo's not going to be there again. Maybe Trent Williams will play, maybe he won't. But what's the game plan? Because it seemed, again, a little disconjointed this last week. What is the winning formula here without Debo Samuel? How can we go ahead and make this right? Are they going to make any moves this week as far as on the defensive side or even on the offensive side? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I definitely want our team to have some kind of identity this week on offense. It did feel disjointed. I'd love to see more like Ronnie Bell out there. We hyped him up a lot in the preseason. He can do some jet sweeps. He can run the ball a little bit. He can catch. He's good. I'd love to see him mix it in. Juwan Jennings to continue his dominance as a receiver. He looked great last week. Yeah, and I think this matchup with the kickers, like Jake Moody, are you going to pull it together? Are you going to suck? And then on the other side, Evan McPherson, who as a rookie, he went on a tear. Like, to compare these two is going to be really cool. He went on a amazing Super Bowl run as a rookie kicker, which Jake Moody's hoping to do this year. So maybe they can exchange info and learn a thing or two from each other. Yeah, but let us know in the comments. What do you think about the Bengals-Niners game? How are we feeling? Joe Burrow, is he going to throw for 1,000,000 yards against us? I just wanted to end really quick with the disco because I have a great disco this week. The Deep Did Disco, short for Discovery. We discover movies, TV shows, something we read, and literally anything we discovered this week. Yeah. Did you have anything?
You could go ahead. I'm going to figure mine out. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So we love football, but we watch other things. We have to, spend our time doing other things sometimes. We need a break. So this week, my disco, I had a friend give me free tickets to the I Missed You tour. Adam Sandler. We went to the SAP Center in San Jose. And let me tell you, I didn't know what to expect. I love Adam Sandler, but I was like, you know what? I don't know what he's going to do during this show. Opens up, I forget the opening comedian, but the second act, Rob Schneider did a set. really funny. And then Judd Apatow came out, who's like one of my favorite directors, favorite producer. He came out and did a set. Adam Sandler comes out, does like an over an hour, kills it, plays the guitar, does songs, does jokes. At some point, he noticed someone in the crowd needed medical attention,
Oh shit.
and he like stops the show and he's like, "Oh, like let's get the medics out here." It was like the complete opposite of Travis Scott situation. Like he was so like cool, so attentive about the crowd. I didn't even know how he noticed that guy. Someone like I think someone just drunk, passed out, like needed some water. Um, so yeah, really cool. Then we got back into the show. Didn't ruin the show at all. His crowd work was amazing. And then to end the show, he brought back Apatow and Schneider, and they played a song. They were like a band up there, and he was like, "Oh, someone on guitar. He's a little shy, but we'll get him out here." Kevin James, the legend himself, Kevin James comes out and fucking
Ladies
shreds.
and gentlemen, start your engines.
Kevin James comes out and fucking shreds guitar, and he goes in the crowd, and he has like old women hugging him, like through the. He's like it goes through the whole crowd, bro. It was amazing. So highly recommend this show. It was so worth it. I don't think they're doing any more California shows. It looks like Fresno and Anaheim just passed. But if you're in Vegas, December 2nd, highly recommend you check out the show. You don't know who's going to show up as his guest. And, I mean, the Sandman, he puts on a great show.
All right. Yeah, that sounds fucking awesome, dude. So my disco for this week is actually from one of my favorite directors, the one, the only, Steven Spielberg. It is. I finally got to watching The Fabelmans. Have you seen this yet?
No, not yet.
It's really good. It's like like autobiographical for Steven Spielberg, how he fell in love with film, him growing up, this weird relationship between his dad, his mom, and his dad's best friend. What really piques his interest, how he got into filmmaking, different things like that. Honestly, it's really, really good. And it's a culmination of pretty much all his work. And you get to see, okay, like these are things that he took for Saving Private Ryan. These are things that he implemented for Jaws. This is how he got into Indiana Jones. So you're just kind of seeing all of that. It really made me want to go through and do a Steven Spielberg marathon, just checking out all his work, because there is little Easter eggs throughout all of the entire movie where you're like, damn, like that's what he was thinking, or like that's why Indiana Jones has this relationship with his own father. Like just little things like that. It's just really into the mind of Spielberg. And I know a lot of it was actually really emotional for Steven Spielberg. When he would see like the sets, he was like, holy shit, like this is my living, like this is my exact living room. This is how this scene really played out. So very good. Highly recommend.
Yeah, and I know Halloween's right around the corner, so I just want to throw out a couple Halloween movies that I'd be watching. The Faculty.
Oh, I love that movie.
Watch The Faculty. Some young Elijah Wood. What are Usher's in there?
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, great film. The other one that I'm planning on watching is The Fourth Kind.
Oh.
So if you're really into aliens, kind of get into that one. That one's great. You have a Halloween movie you're gonna be watching next week?
Let me think. I actually really I know it's probably going to be trash, but I want to go see the Exorcist Believer. That looks good. But I mean, even if you're just at home chilling, I know the original Exorcist is on Max, I believe, and that's always super spooky. And realistically, it is more about like, I like it because it's not just about like, oh, I did the X, Y, and Z and I got a demon on me. It's like, okay, like it's a seriously like a family drama for like the first half of the movie. And then it gets into, all right, now it's demon time, baby. So it's Exorcist. It's fucking spooky.
And I'll throw one more out there because Patrick Wilson made his directorial debut with Insidious: The Red Door. I think he just does some creative shit. Like he does some really cool stuff directing wise in that movie, and it's good. It's good, nice, scary, Insidious movie. You can check it out. But yeah, there's some like unique stuff I really like in there. So yeah, happy Halloween. Next time we're recording is gonna be on Halloween. So we might need to be in costume.
Ooh, spooky. Oh yeah, Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat's
Yeah.
an awesome movie. It has some really cool transitions. It has a lot of like unique twists. Check it out.
Do you have a costume yet, or do you want to save that reveal?
I'll save it.
All right, I got mine too, so I'm gonna save it. We'll be surprised. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. Thank you so much. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
All right, later.